In a previous video, I was talking about wall end cap styles and wall opening end cap styles. And then later on that same day, I was working on something for the latest or the newest um, furniture kit coming out in the next, it might be 27, 28, I'm not sure yet. But in it will be a collection of, let's just call them service counters. And this is what I've been building so far. What these are basically a derivative of our kitchen cabinets kit. And they're meant for the same purpose as those cabinets are, which is a massing solution to allow you to very quickly create a reception or service counter solution without having to get into all of the details of if there's drawers or things like that in there. You just want a massing solution that looks good in plan and may even render well in 3D, but that's as far as you need to go. But that does occur for me quite a bit, where I'm not doing the cabinetry work, and I'm maybe not even working in that area of a remodel, but this is as part of the furniture, it's part of the background. So I just need some massing solutions, and this is what I've been working on lately. Now in this particular case here, I created that solution so that you can apply different materials to different parts of it. So it has a wall with a little top on it, and then the cabinetry adjacent to the wall, but it's all one thing. And I was thinking about, well, what if you need to make the wall longer, or you want the kick to come around the corner, or the end here to overhang a little bit? And that led me to this derivative, or this permutation of that, which is all based on end caps. And here they are. These are the end caps that I created to make this same wall style become this wall style. And it's just a matter of tracing them out. Now what I'm going to do is go to something maybe a little simpler, but all the same basic concepts. So you'll be able to do stuff like this. What I'll do is let's go over and create a new file. And I'm going to jump up to the content catalog library here and go to our kitchen cabinets. Now these are also in our bathroom cabinets, but I'll go to kitchens and I will go to our generation 1, our first generation of cabinets. We have 3 of them so far. The first one is just massing solutions, and it looks something like this. You have wall styles that will create these base cabinets. They'll create utility cabinets. If you go on, you'll see that there's upper cabinets and even islands. So these are the upper cabinets. So I'm going to jump back here, and I'm going to pick one of the most common US-based base cabinets, which is 36 inches high. It has a splash and a 25-inch depth. So we'll go ahead and insert that into the drawing. And I'll just place it across the screen here. Now, if you do turn the corner, it'll automatically clean up because it is a wall, but I'll get rid of that. And then let me go ahead and do a set of interior walls. So I'll go to our general tools, walls. I'll go to new. I'll pick the first wall up here, which is just a stud wall with sheetrock on both sides. And I'll go ahead and just draw it like this. And then I'm going to throw an angle on it. So I'll come out like this. Let's do a 40, so 225. Sounds good. All right. And I'm going to focus on this part first. So if you draw one of our G1 cabinets and you end up doing, let's do a conceptual, you'll see it just terminates clean. It's meant to run into a wall. But in some cases you have an open scenario. Oh, I moved this wall, I drew this wall on there we go. I wasn't paying attention if I was using baseline or left or whatever it was. I just drew it. Often if a cabinet terminates, you have the kick sit under, or you have at least the countertop overhang by a little bit. So let's learn how to do that. And that'll teach you about another level of wall end cap stuff that you can do. So to make things simple when you're just learning about this, I like to draw and teach to draw right in the place on the object that you're planning to make this work occur. So I'll go ahead and set the color to red, and I'm going to go ahead and I have to declare where's my 0 in this scenario. So what does not move, and then how can I make everything from that 0 point adjust? So the base is going to be my 0, so I'm going to draw a polyline representing the base. Then I'm going to come up and I'm going to draw with my Z turned off down here. I'm going to snap here and then ortho on. I'm going to come out how much I want the body to extend beyond the base, so 3 inches. Then I'm going to come over here and then with a little bit of O-track and come back to 3 inches. And now I'll go up here to the countertop and I'm going to come out 3 plus 1, so that's 4. And then come over here and go like that and come back to 4. And then finally I have to consider what I want the backsplash to do. Now I'll probably just want it to come out 4, and then the backsplash is 1 inch and then back 4. So now I have each of those pieces that represent how I want that end cap to behave. So I'll just do a Wall Endcap style and do a new, and I might just say cabinet end. Let's do kick. I might do a 3-inch kick and maybe a 1.0 top, something like that, just to indicate, fully what it does. And then I'll do a right click and set from. Now I have to pick those end caps in the order of the components within the wall style. I'll show you how I know that the components go in this order. But I want this polyline here down there first. So it says 1, yes, enter for another one, then this one, yep, yes for this one, and yes for the last one here. Did I draw that incorrectly? No, I think it's okay. And okay, and then we just enter, 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 and we can use it now. So what is this? This wall is this, what is this down here? It says start point. Okay, so we go over here on the properties palette, and we're going to set this one to start point. And you'll notice it pulls back for the kick and the body, and then finally the overhang. All right. Now, if you were expecting it to project out, we can take a look at things you can do. Like you can just drag it out more if you want to, or we'll go to plan view, and I'll go to wireframe. So let's move these things out of the way. If I select here, this becomes the control point, which is kind of nice. But if you were in a case where you'd rather control it from the kick or the body, what you can do is go back to your end cap style, find it here, and set a negative value for how far you want to control it into the body from. So for example, if I did -1, I would be controlling it from the cabinet body itself. So now when I come out, this you can see here, that's the 1 inch from the overhang of the top. So if I pulled it back, now I personally don't like working that way. I like working from the very countertop, but just in case you need something like that. And then of course I can apply it to the other end if I want. I just run over here and I just stick that on, boom. And before I move on to the next part here, be aware that in our kit, kitchen cabinets G1, if you move further along in here, you're going to see a place that you can pull end caps in. So we got a bunch of pre-done end caps right here. So if you select this, and then you go ahead and click on the cabinet end, and this will come up. So we have a bunch of predefined end caps that you can pick from. So the same one that I just made would be, let's see, would be a 25-inch square end. All right, so it's the same thing. But we can do maybe, let's see, one with a curved end, and it'll look like that. Okay, it needs an adjustment to the backsplash, or if you don't use the backsplash, you just pull it down like that. All right. Or if you want a higher backsplash, you just pull the backsplash up. If you want a smoother curve, you type, this is true for all things in this product, is facet dev 0.01, and that'll smooth that out. Okay, and so this is good. I'll teach you now. Well, you saw here how to do some control of the backsplash. I'm going to undo this though. Let's see, I'll set this back to, let's see, which one was this? Yeah, that was the one. Now, this scenario has come up and it's frustrating. I typically don't design buildings with a lot of angles in them. Don't really like to work with angles. Let me do a fillet here, clean up that wall. But I do a lot of renovation work, and in San Francisco and the Bay Area around, and there's a lot of bay windows and all kinds of angle stuff that goes way back. I can never count on the angles. If I look at it and assume it's 45, guaranteed it'll be something like 32.5 or 38 or some crazy thing. So I always got to triangulate the numbers. And then if it's a place where there's a cabinet, I get into this situation. Now, what do I do here? So I basically think you have two solutions. One, if you're in a real hurry, just make a mass element the shape that you don't, that you want to get rid of this cabinet, and just subtract it out of there. You could do a body subtraction. I'll just, rather than talking about it, just show you. If I go ahead and come out, let's just go like this, like this, like that, and then do a CL. Then I go ahead and just convert this to a mass element and make it something like 6 feet. All right, so it'll look like this. I don't know why it didn't come up like that. Now I can go ahead and click on the wall, and I'll do, so I can do, pretty much this is what I would do. I would just do an interference condition. I would add it, and then I would just do S for subtract. And then I keep my body modifiers. I keep them all on some layer like no plot, so that I don't end up rendering them. I always freeze that layer. And the color should probably be, let's see. We'll just leave it like that. I'm going to change my color back to by layer though. Okay. And then I could freeze. I could go to layer, and then I could just freeze the no plot like that. And so the cabinet will appear to have that corner nice and clean, and in plan it'll look nice and clean, except for the backsplash. I can get rid of this now. All right, but let me just select that and get rid of the modifier. So I'm going to go here, and then I'm just going to get rid of that and do it properly. All right, but it's good to, I think, good to know that there's a quick way to just get yourself out of that mess. So here's how you do it properly. What you need to do is consider what's the furthest point in. I like to think of that as my 0 point. So I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to lock my Z. I'm going to draw a line from here to here. Then I'm going to offset 1 inch. That's the backsplash here. Okay, so that's essentially an unexpected 0. You might have thought the 0 would have been right up against the wall, but it isn't. It's actually right here. So I'll throw in a little X line at that point here. That's going to be my furthest point in. So everything has to be drawn based on that. I will come from here to here, down to here, over to here, and then back to this intersection. And that's going to be the backsplash. So I'll go ahead and make that color red. All right. What's the next thing that I need? I need the countertop. So the countertop's going to do the same thing. It's going to go from here to there, back, and then all the way over to this point here. And let's make that blue. All right, now I need the body. So the body is 1 inch in. So I'll just do a little construction line here, 1 inch, and come in like that. So the body needs to do the same thing here. It comes from here to here, right to there, and then back over to here. And we'll go ahead and make the body green. All right. And now we have the kick. So the kick is going to be 3 inches in. Oops, 3 inches in from here. There we go. And it does pretty much the same stuff. Here, here, and then here. Because the kick is going to terminate into the wall. So I don't need the kick over here. That's why everything is following the same wall line. And then to there. So I left the kick in white. I will go ahead and just rotate up, and hopefully I can find each of those pieces. I might want to get rid of some of those construction lines. Okay, so we do a wall end cap style, and we might just go ahead and say new, and we can do cabinet end 45 degrees, something like that, and set from. And so we want this one first, yes, and then we want this one, yes, then we want this one, yes, and then we want that one, and then enter, 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 and enter, and now we can use it. This is the end, so we'll go to end over here, and we'll look for that 45 degree, and it should look something like that. Now, it doesn't know that you want it to stop at the wall. It just knows how you want the end. So we have the wall here, so it's shooting out of there. So because I haven't adjusted it negative or positive, it's reading the outer corner, which is great, because I can snap that right to where the finished material goes, like that, and it should look really good. And we'll go ahead, yep, there it is, and I can bring this down. What is the height here? We'll go to 36, 40 maybe, something like that. So there's the backsplash. And if you didn't want the end cut at 45, you could have cut it back at a square angle, but this is a pretty common solution. And if we go ahead now, we take a look at this in realistic, you'll see what it looks like. So those are our default materials for the cabinets. Of course, we have lots of materials to allow you to change them. But if you look all the way around, it's running right into that wall exactly the way you would expect it to do. And it's going to look correct in plan view, elevation view, section view, and so forth. Let's see here. Oh, something's funny. Let's see, where's the wall? Oh, that's the wall. I picked the wrong, picked a construction line. I wonder that looked odd. Should always erase my construction lines. You don't want to, some of these are good to keep though. Of course you can get them back. So if I go like this, okay, I should have snapped to there. All right, now that I erased those construction lines, keep in mind that you can do wall end cap and type in P for P line, and then you can get them back. So you may not like the way that it places them, but let's see, let's take the 45 one, cabinet, where is it, cabinet 45, okay, and then notice here it'll say select insertion point, click right there. See how it kind of, it just kind of throws them together like that. So then what happens here is it's hard to remember what order they were in. But you can place them up against your geometry and you should be okay. I think that pretty much does it here, so just do a little check again. Go to wireframe, okay. Yeah, so that's running correctly now. Okay, oh yeah, if you draw this in the wrong direction, this could happen. So, oh, shoot, let me undo back. I don't want to waste time on finding this all the way back to here. All right, so I've got those end caps. If this is in the wrong direction, so I'm going to do a PE for P-edit, and I'm going to reverse the direction on R. If you were to Wall Endcap style, I would do the 45 degree here, set from, so I want you, yes, and you, yes, and you, and then you. Okay, so this is what happens when you draw it in the wrong direction. It will shoot out. So it's good to know that you can do that. But what's causing that, if that's not what you want, is that when you drew the polyline, Let's go back to my wireframe. When you drew the polyline, you probably drew it in the counterclockwise direction relative to the work. I can never remember which direction I want to go, and I don't worry about it because I just showed you. If you type in PE, select your polyline, there's the option to do an R reverse on it, and you're good to go. So if it messes up like that, just reverse it and reselect. I think that pretty much covers it here. Now getting back to this one over here, I don't think there's much more to be said here. It's exactly the same idea, just it has curves on it. And if I go to wireframe, I can position each of these in the place that they go. So this one goes down here, like that. And then this one here goes to this location. This one here goes to that location. And this one here does something unique up at the top. And then this one here goes into this location right here. Right. So what I did was I cut the I created an end cap for the countertop that's going to make room for this let's call it the reception part, the upper reception massing. As it comes around, I just took the cabinet top and returned it, so this would be the staff side, and gave it a little return. I probably didn't need to do that, but it was just interesting to clean it up properly. So just looking at these, you can see that each line or each polyline set represents how I want the solution to come out. And again, I had to consider my 0 point. So you'll see here, come out like this. They all share that 0 point. So each one represents how far I want the component to extend from my 0 point out. So for example, the lower kick down here, it comes in the 3 inches from the body, like that. All right, and hopefully that gives you some ideas, and hopefully these reception counters will be cool and interesting for some people. I'm also making some that are curtain walls, so there will be some more flexibility in what you do, and that'll be a whole set in the furniture product. I'm out.